Okay, so if we start by lying on our mat, feet flat on the mat and knees flexed, and arms nice and long by our side. Maybe a cushion underneath the head if you need it. And so let's just allow ourselves a moment to come into the space and just start by taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, filling the rib cage. And as you exhale, just softly through pursed lips to slow the breath down. That deep diaphragmatic breathing, which really helps us to engage those deep abdominals. So it helps us to relax and avoid any unnecessary tension through the neck and shoulders. So just gently start zipping up through the middle, drawing that belly button in towards spine. And then on your next in-breath, you're going to relax the left knee out to the side, slide the foot away. And as you exhale, we come across. Relax the knee out, slide the foot away. So we're just mobilizing through the hip, keeping weight in the opposite hip. Change direction, across and open it. Across. Open it. Good, just take one more. And then change sides. So relax the right knee, slide the foot away, exhale as you come across. Really good hip release. I'm just working those rotator muscles of the hip. Change direction, across and open it. Inhale and exhale. Good, just finish this last one. When you finish that last one, bring your knees and feet together, open your arms out wide, and then taking a breath in, you're going to breathe out. Drop the knees over to one side. I don't mind which. We're going to work both. Inhale, hold. And as you exhale, all the way to the side. Good. Just warming through those rotator muscles of the spine, mobilizing through the spine. Let's do one more to each side. We'll try and make this move a little bit bigger. As you exhale, using that out breath to move. Good. We're going to come back through to center. And then you're going to lift your feet up off the floor. So into a tabletop. And then keeping those knees, feet together, you're going to drop the knees over. So you need to have your heels closer to your bottom if it feels more comfortable. If you hold the tabletop, we create that slightly heavier lever. We're going to get a little bit more work into our obliques. And our abdominals. We lift the knees and the feet up off the floor. As you exhale all the way over to the side. Keeping the shoulders anchored, inhale, holding. As you exhale, lifting. Do one more to each side. Over to the right, or the left, of course. Inhale, holding. As you exhale, back through to center. Let's release the feet down. And then let's take a cushion away underneath the head if you have it there. Arms long by your side. Take a breath in, heels towards hip sockets. As you exhale, rock the pelvis back and then lift off. Gently squeeze the glutes, pressing through the heels. As you exhale, slowly release and lower back down. One vertebra by one. Lengthen the pubic bone away. I'm going to go again. We're going to add some arms into this now. So we're going to lift off with a nice line. Then take a breath in, reach the arms up. As you exhale, reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, holding. Then as you exhale, you're slowly going to release and roll back down. Just noticing where you might need to start releasing the arms to avoid that bottom rib popping up. And then releasing the arms back down by your side. So do that a couple more times. Exhale, peel off. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach the arms. Inhale, hold. As you exhale, release down. Trying to bring again one vertebra by one back down. And release. We should get a really big stretch through those side ribs as we reach the arms up. Hold. Slowly release down. Lengthening pubic bone away as you release down. Good. When you finish that last one, we're going to bring ourselves over onto all fours. So knees beneath the hips, hands beneath the shoulders. And so just tuck up it, and then you can see that little lift of the belly. So knees beneath hips, hands beneath shoulders. On your out breath, you're going to take a little lift through the middle. Tuck chin, tuck tailbone as you inhale, hold. As you exhale, release to a cow pose. Pull the shoulders back, lift the chin. As you exhale, lift up. Tuck the sit bones right under, lift that mid back up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, really relax the belly. You're dipping into that lower back. Exhale, lifting. I'm going to lift my chin a bit more there. Inhale, holding. We'll do one more cat and cow. As you exhale, look up towards the ceiling. And this time as you exhale, come back to neutral. So now we're going to bring our knees and feet together. I'm going to get a bit of warmth into our upper body. And so we're just going to start by taking an exhale and looking over our right shoulder. Can you see the outside edge of your right hip? So we start to get a little lateral flexion through the upper middle back. Looking over the left shoulder. And again, we'll do one more to each side. So just rotating. Keeping the hips nice and still. Exhale. Good. So now could we do that with a little knee lift? So we keep the knees and feet together. You're going to lift the knees up off the floor so you can be on the tops of the feet. And then we're just going to drop the hips over to the left as we look over the right shoulder. Back through center, rest the knees down. And then as you exhale, we go again. So look over the left shoulder, lifting the knees and dropping over to the right. Come back through center. As you exhale, lift, drop the hips to the left, look over your right shoulder, come back through center, rest the knees down. And look over the left shoulder, lift the knees. Good, coming back through center, rest down. Good, take a little lift in the middle, cat stretch. Take a little sit back, release through the wrists. And then take a breath in. As you exhale, scoop the belly. Good. From there, we'll take a big shift forward. We'll come to line on our tummy. You can have a cushion underneath the forehead if you would like. Hands slightly forward, the shoulders, feet hip width apart. Good. So from here, we're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to press through the forearms. Gently lifting the head and the chest. Keep the bottom rib in contact with the mat as you inhale, hold, squeeze the glutes. And release down. So again, take a breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And release. Good. So nice width across those shoulder blades. My legs are hip width apart. If you're all good through lower back, you can have those feet, inner thighs connected. So you really zip up. Press those heels together, squeeze the glutes as you hold. And release. Nice full breath. Think about as we're pressing lightly through the forearms, really get that upper middle back to do the work. So we're just going to take a couple more. And as you lift, we can just hold the lift. Or we could lift a little bit more, but still keeping that bottom rib in contact. And release. So we get that real big thoracic extension. working into your posture muscles. Hold and release. Good. When you finish that last one, we'll bring hands to the rib cage. Take an out breath to push up to all fours. Knees beneath the hips, hands beneath the shoulders. And then again, as you exhale, lift into a cat stretch. Let's sit straight back onto those heels. You can have your arms in front, or let's release through the shoulders. Bring the arms down by your sides. Scoop the belly, and let's take 2 or 3 full breaths in and out. In that breath to the back of the rib cage. Good. On your next out breath, let's reset the spine all the way up. Roll the shoulders, lift the head. Good. Let's put ourselves over seated on the mat. And we're going to use that band. So band, hook it under the feet. Nice long spine. And then plenty of tension in the band. It's going to use it to assist us with our roll back. Then we're going to add on our obliques roll back. So long spine. As you exhale, draw your belly button in. Really tuck your tailbone under and roll back. So the band can help pull us back up. Nice long spine. As you exhale, support us on the roll back. Really tuck that tailbone under. Inhale, lift. So at the moment, as I say, that band is supporting us on our roll back. But as we do the obliques roll back and a couple more repetitions, it'll really get that work into the upper middle back. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. That's good. You're reaching up to the crown of the head. Abdominals work to lift and lengthen. Inhale, lift. So now add on obliques roll back. So as you roll to the back of the sit bones, pull left hand to left side. Sit nice and tall, shoulders over hips. Exhale to the side. Right hand, right hip. Breathe in, lift and lengthen. Exhale. Reach out. Good. Keep going. Pull that hand, side rib to lift up through the crown of the head. Draw your belly button in. Couple more on each side. Draw that shoulder back. And exhale. Good. One more of each. Tucking that tail. Twist in. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, we're going to roll all the way down now. So you put the band to one side. Hook under your hamstrings, roll yourself all the way down. Good. So I'm going to cushion underneath the head. I want to go into a little bit of a ab prep and shoulder bridge move. So we can keep our feet about hip width apart. We're going to reach the arms up overhead as far as we can maintain that lower rib at the back in contact with the mat. So then we take a breath in, we reach the arms, we tuck the chin. As you exhale, you're going to lift your head, shoulders, your palms pressing to the floor. We inhale, hold. As we exhale, we're going to reach the arms up overhead, and then we're going to lift the hips into that shoulder bridge. Inhale, hold, straight line, shoulders to knees. As you exhale, we release the hips down. Start moving the arms as you inhale. As we exhale, we lift. Arms pressed. Inhale, hold. As you exhale, hips up, arms overhead, into that shoulder bridge. So we've gone through our hip roll, so this time we can just lift the hips up. Let's take a breath in, pressing through the heels. As you exhale, release, hips down. Watch the arms. Remember, watch that bottom rib. Inhale, start to reach the arms, head nod. Exhale, lift, look to your center. And reach, arms, hips up. Exhale, hips down, arms, might lift a little. Inhale, reach the arms, head nod. Exhale, lift the head, shoulders. Reach towards the back of the heels. Exhale. Good. Hold that lift. Do one. Lift into an ab breath. Inhale, hold. One more shoulder bridge. Exhale, arms. Reach hips up. Press through the heels. This time as you exhale, just release the hips down. And release the arms down by your side. So let's take cushion underneath the head. And then we'll come into our tabletop position. So one knee over the hip, bring the other knee. So I think we should all be capable of doing this knees over the hips for this one. So we're going to have hands inside the forehead. Now, as you exhale, we're going to bring right shoulder to left knee, right leg extend. So I'm keeping my left elbow on the floor. And then as we go to the other side, left shoulder, right knee, right elbow stays on the floor. Exhale. So we can reach out on the diagonal. We keep an elbow on the floor. Should take a little bit of tension up the neck and shoulders. If we want a little bit more, we can lift the head, shoulders. We hold that lift, and then we twist. Inhale back through center. Exhale the side. Keeping those elbows wide. The twist coming from our shoulders. Good. Exhale. Couple more on each side. You're feeling some warmth, particularly through those upper abdominals, right? And our obliques. When you finish that last from each side, hold, rest head, shoulders, release, feet down, arms wide. Take a little twist, dropping the knees over to one side. Inhale, holding. As you exhale, over to the side. Good. Coming back through to center. Let's grab that band again. So we're going to get the band. We're going to take ourselves into a little hamstring stretch on that right side. And then we're going to use the band for a little scissor exercise. So let's have that left foot on the floor. Right leg nice and long. And again, really make sure that as we draw that right leg in, we're not dumping into that lower back. Lengthen that pubic bone away. We've got a little space in the small of the back. And then we'll really feel that stretch back of the thigh. Our hamstrings. Good. Inhale, holding. Exhale. Can we draw that leg in a little bit more? Good. So plenty of tension in the band. So with our left foot, we can keep it on the floor. And as you exhale, you're going to press right foot, right leg down. Inhale, hinge up. Exhale. So as we drop that leg down, we're getting a little bit of more resistance into the band, working the back of the hip. And as we draw the leg up, maybe we could pull it in a little bit further. We release off that hamstring stretch. We increase that hamstring stretch. So we can keep that left on the floor or hold tabletop. Exhale. So really getting those lower abdominals working now as we've got that left foot up off the floor. We could extend the left leg up. Reach that right leg away. And staying on that right leg. Yeah, just find that option. Good. Just a couple more. When you finish that last one, really draw that right leg in, bend the left knee, bring the foot to the floor, if it's not already. Let's hold that stretch just a moment longer. Draw that right leg in a little bit more if you can. Keep that gap in the small of the back. And let's release. Let's bring our left foot up into the band, right foot to the floor. And again, just hold that hamstring stretch for a moment. Again, keep that space and small in the back. On your out breath, can you draw that left leg in a little bit more without dumping into that lower back? Gently lengthening your pubic bone away. We're aiming for as near to neutral spine as we can, but without forcing it. So from here, on your next out breath, let's press left leg down towards the floor. Inhale, hinge up. Exhale. So really easing off that hamstring stretch. So we drop the leg, increasing that hamstring stretch. So remember, foot on the floor or find tabletop. Press. Watch that lower rib. Keeping in contact with the floor, keeping that lower back nice and still. Maybe extending that right leg up. As you exhale. So we're just keeping that right leg really still. 3 more. Inhale, really pull it in. 2. Good, last one. Hold, draw that left leg in. Bend your right knee. Right foot to the floor. Good, hold that stretch. Hold it a moment longer. And then let's release. Good, nice stretch to the back of the thigh. Let's bring ourselves over so we're lying on our side. So when we're lying on our side, let's have head resting on the lower arm of the cushion, ribs and hips to the back of the mat. Nicely matching my mat today. So we're going to go into a little clamshell series of exercises. So we're going to bring hand just to the waistline. Helps to relax our shoulder there. And then really lengthen that top hip bone away. So put that lift again in the waistline. On your out breath, you're going to open your top knee. Release down. Exhale. So really keep the hips nice and still, facing forward, so we get that work to the outside of the hip. Couple more. So from here, hold that knee down. You're going to lift the feet up off the floor. Drop the hips forward a little bit. And maybe we can go a little bit bigger with that knee open. 4 more. And 3. Squeeze. 2 more. Good. So here comes our last round of clamshell. We're going to add a leg extension. So we open that top knee, press the heel away, bring the heels together, knees together. Inhale, exhale, knees together. Good. Really should be feeling some warmth in that hip. Couple more. We're going to keep that torso nice and still, belly button gently drawn in. Last one. Press. Release. Relax the feet down and hold. So let's take a little stretch whilst we're here. So we're going to take a hold of our top ankle and gently Draw that heel towards your bottom, towards the hip bones at the back there. The sit bones. Roll the top shoulder back, squeeze the glutes, open the front of the hip. Good, on your next out breath, let's release that leg go. And then let's bring ourselves over to do the other side. Flex the knees up in front. Remember, you've got that nice, neat line through your torso. The mat is a really good marker for your spine. And then, when you're ready, open the top knee. So we start small, we get a little bit bigger with our clamshell exercise. Keep the hips nice and still. We're not turning through the waist. Couple more. And squeeze. Let's lift the feet. When you're ready, open and release. That nice breath. Relax that shoulder away from the ear. Couple more. Fatigue always kicks in a little bit more so when we start on the other side. Okay, let's open that top knee, press the heel away. As we create that longer lever, we really challenge that glute med. Inhale, press the heel away. Really press that heel up towards the top corner of the ceiling. Good, couple more. Open, press. I'm getting a little bit quicker through this one. Press the heel away. Your feet together, knees together, and relax down. Take a hold of your top ankle. Let's stretch out front of the thigh. You can bring that lower leg forward a little bit, gives you that stability. Roll your top shoulder back. Again, squeeze those glutes to open up the front of the hip. Good, on your next out breath, let's release, let the leg go. We're going to bring ourselves over onto all fours onto the mat. So we're going to have knees beneath the hips, hands beneath the shoulders. And so we're going to go into our little leg pull exercise. So we'll start with a prep. We can do this on the tops of the feet, ideally toes tucked. Bracing the belly. We'll just take ourselves a little scapular isolation first. So taking a breath in, I want you to drop the chest between the arms. As you exhale, push away. Inhale, gently squeeze those shoulder blades together. As you exhale, press away. Inhale, exhale. Let's do one more. Good. From there, we'll come somewhere in between those 2 points. Hold, toes tucked. Take a breath in as you exhale. Hover the knees. And release down. So we can do an exhale lift. Inhale, lower down. Or we can hold for the breath in. Exhale. Inhale, hold. And release. Or 2 breath pattern. Lift. And release. So just do what feels good for you, for your body. Feeling strong through your upper body. Then hold. Good. Couple more. And release. Good. Last one. Just hovering those knees. Release down. Let's take a little step back. Just take a release through your wrists. We're going to do a couple more moves here. So we're going to march the feet. Now, options. We can keep those knees beneath the hips, a little bit less work. We can take those knees back a little bit further. And then we get a little bit more work for abdominals and our chest, shoulders. So same move, we're going to hover the knees, just an inch. Then we march right and left. We can rest down. Exhale, lift, knees, march right, left, release. Couple more. Right, left, rest down. So if you want to make this harder as well, you could just keep those knees lifted as you march the feet. Right, left. Can you keep the knees lifted? Right, left. Okay, let's do one more round. Right, left, release knees down. Sit back and take a couple of breaths here, because as we march those feet, we really get that work into those deep stabilizing muscles of the spine. Rotate the wrists. Let's release the hands. Let's get one more move here. So a couple of options again. We're going to go into a plank position. So we could do this on the tops of the feet. It would look a little bit like this. So you have elbows beneath your shoulders, and then you have got your belly resting on the floor. So gradually we lift the belly and we come onto our thighs, tops of the knees, and then you can lift on the tops of the feet. You could hold, rest down, rest all the way down. Gently draw those shoulders away from the ears. So there's an option on the tops of the feet, or I know some of you find it good, tuck toes. So that's a good option on the tops of the feet. If we're all good, hands beneath shoulders, let's bring our knees and feet together, and then we can tuck the toes. Now notice my knees are back a little bit further than beneath the hips, because as we come into that plank position, I'm just extending the knees, holding, zipping up inner thighs, and releasing down. So it's an exhale, knees extend, inhale, hold, and release. So here's the option on the floor again. Taking a breath in. As you exhale, belly lifts, thighs lift. Hold and release down. So knees, thighs, belly. As you exhale, lift. This could be an option if you wanted to, just holding here, or lift up onto the tops of the feet. As you exhale, release down. So we'll do two more. You can find that option. Exhale. Great work for upper body, for our chest, for our shoulders. Squeeze the glutes, draw the belly button in, release down. Let's take one more. Exhale. Hold. And release. Good. From there, let's come up to high kneeling and take a release, rolling through the shoulders. Give those arms a little shake out, the wrists a little roll. Good. And then we're going to come to seated on the mat, facing towards the front. The cushion is quite good to sit nice and tall. And then we're going to take the legs a little bit wider than shoulder width. And then from here, we're going to open those arms up nice and wide to the side. Into our saw exercise, we're going to take a breath in, we're going to turn to the left. As you exhale, reach right hand towards the outside of the left foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Turn to the right. Roll down, reach. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Good. So as we turn, keep that nice long spine. As you exhale, roll down, reach. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Lift. Turn. So now we'll do two more to each side. As I turn to the left, turn that left hand away. Gets into those shoulder stabilizers. Reach. Lift. Turn forward. Right hand turns. Roll down, reach left hand, the outside of your right shin, ankle, foot. Lift, Turn, one more each side. Inhale, exhale forward. Right, reach, lift, and back through center. Relax the arms down. Let's get those legs to hip width and give them a little kick out to release the front of the hips. So we're just going to take a little stretch for the front of the hips as well. And so for the front of the hips, for the back of the hips, sorry. So we're going to have our feet about hip width, hands stay to the back of the hips. And as we exhale, to take a little twist left and to right. So you might feel a little stretch running down the outside of the hip. And from there, we come back to center. And then we're going to lift the hips up. So we're coming into this leg pull. Then we're going to bring right foot on top of our left knee and drop down. Should feel a big stretch. Now, if you find it too much to rest those hips down, bring the left foot forward a little bit more. It just eases off that stretch. Gently push into the floor so we're not sinking into those shoulders. Maybe you can bring that left foot in towards you. Keep pressing that right knee out. Good, let's take a lift. We're going to change sides. Right foot to the floor, left foot across the right knee. Very carefully drop the hips down. Ease off a little bit. Right foot can slide forward. Bring it towards you for a little bit more. Yeah, lifting those toes. Holding that stretch. Pressing that left knee out of it. Good, on your out breath, you're going to release. Lift the hips up. Left foot drops down. Get growing those legs out in front. Again, you can have a little knee bend if you want to. You're going to bring left hand to your left side. Reach your right arm up over. And release. Left arm up and over. Exhale. And release. Good. Take a little roll of the shoulders. Breathing in, shrugging the shoulders up, down and back. And again, last one. As you exhale, release. And we are done. Well done. Let me just